everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Royalty Now. No news yet on the Cambridge baby. There has been speculation, some rumors of so-called helicopters coming and going, missing, but nothing firmed up yet. When the time does come, though, check out my blog, The Royal Representative, for all of your awesome royal baby news. In the event that my blog should crash and become unavailable due to high volumes of traffic, please follow me on Twitter and Facebook as Mandy's Royalty. You know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. When my site crashes, that's kind of good because that means I have a lot of traffic and a lot of interest in what I'm writing about. But on the other hand, that means I have a lot of traffic, and on a shared server, that's not so good. But I also don't have a ton of money to put into a private server, so if my site goes down, well, it's going to stay down for a little bit. But like I said, follow me on Twitter and Facebook as Mandy's Royalty for more news, info from The Telegraph, The Express, The Guardian, all different kinds of news outlets, as well as my own writings. And speaking of babies, Zara Phillips Tyndall, the Queen's eldest granddaughter, is pregnant with her first child with her husband, Mike Tyndall. The Queen's press secretary announced that the Tyndalls are expecting a baby in the new year, which is, hooray, fantastic, because that means now that Zara's brother Peter's two children will have a new little cousin to play with, as well as the impending baby Cambridge. News has it that Dutch Prince Friso has been moved from London's Wellington Hospital back to the Netherlands. Friso, who made his home in London with his wife Mabel and their two daughters, had been working as a chief financial officer for the English branch of Urenco, a uranium enrichment company. After his skiing accident in Lech, Austria, which left him in a comatose state, he was moved to London's Wellington Hospital for treatment. In this way, the family could stay in comfortable, familiar surroundings, and plus it is one of the best hospitals for people with Friso's type of injury. However, it is now understood that Friso is being referred to as being in a minimally conscious state, and the press releases say he will no longer need hospital-level medical care. So the prince and his family will be leaving London and be staying with the Dutch royal family, at least for the summer. This has been a very sad state of affairs for the Dutch royal family. I know that there is a tradition for Dutch monarchs to step aside for their heirs, but when Beatrix did it, I had a feeling it was more about Friso's condition than anything else. It's just a horrible limbo that they're in, and I just pray that they can find some sort of comfort in all of this somehow. And hopefully having him home will be just that. Speaking of Dutch royals, the new King and Queen visited the UK on July 10th. King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima paid a visit to Queen Elizabeth II, where they were received at Windsor Castle. The visit is a part of a series of introductory visits, most of which have only been to the Netherlands' neighboring countries thus far. After the investiture, Willem-Alexander and Maxima made visits to Luxembourg, Germany, and Denmark. At Windsor Castle, the three royals greeted each other warmly with kisses on the cheeks, and they posed for photos together, with Maxima, unusually for her, looking a little nervous. But hey, I'd be nervous too if I was standing next to the Queen. Even if I was a queen myself, I'd be nervous. And I wrote about this on the blog, but I gotta tell you, it was really hard to find anything about the visit. With so much of the media the world over being consumed by the birth of Elizabeth's next heir, it was nearly impossible to find anything else. I don't know how the British royals dominate the world's media so much, but they do. Who said the empire died out? In Commonwealth news, a small group of landed immigrants with Republican views have refused their Canadian citizenship because the ceremony involves swearing an oath of loyalty to the Queen. The group has even argued with the federal government in an attempt to have this citizenship requirement declared unconstitutional. So, you go to a country in which a queen is the head of state, heading a constitutional monarchy. I mean, you knew this when you came, did you not? Why go to Canada then? I'm confused. Did they land too far north, thinking that they were actually here in the U.S.? So, these immigrants are saying that someone expected to adhere to the monarchist tradition of a country in order to gain citizenship is bad. So is having to adhere to a nation's republicanism in order to be granted citizenship okay? Can you imagine if a group of immigrant royalists came here to the U.S. then challenged our federal courts, saying that they can't become citizens. We're too Republican for them, and we need to change our horrible ways. In short, being a republic makes us unconstitutional. Do please sort yourselves out, because the last time I checked, Canada had a queen, and if that's the country you're going to live in, be prepared to live in a country that has a constitutional monarchy. Shocking, I know. But the federal government has argued that immigrants who disagree with the idea of a hereditary head of state and refuse to swear an oath of loyalty do not deserve the benefits of citizenship. Quote, "The inability to enjoy the benefits of citizenship, to hold a Canadian passport, and to vote are amongst the costs reasonably borne by individuals whose personal beliefs run contrary to Canada's foundational constitutional structure," said a lawyer for the Federal Attorney General. Whoa, you tell him. To this group of so-called landed immigrants, you're being the Princess Diana of the nation. You refuse to do what's expected of you because it's not exactly how you do it. So you'd rather make a scene and resort to harassment just to try to win little victories here and there. Why not just stick your tongue out at people and try to punch them in the arm and go, "Yeah, I'm going to get my way"? Well, come to America then. No loyal oath to the Queen here, although you will be expected to honor and adore politicians, and if you don't, they will keep telling you how great they are and spend more money than God reinforcing that idea until you vote for them, and then they will turn on you. Thank you again for joining me, and as always, God save the Queen.